Hello guys. It's one of those nasty rainy days where you don't want to do anything, but when you have a project and you take one day off from the project, it's easy to take 2 days and 3 days. So I'm trying to stay working on this project. All right, anyone that actually watched any of my other videos knows that I was in a hurry this summer to get my camper ready to go to North Carolina. So when I rebuilt the interior after fixing all the rust around the edges, I made the storage units too small for what I wanted. So this was the original storage wall. And as you can see, to put my tools in, even though I could have, shuffled it around, there wasn't quite enough room. So I'm moving I've moved the wall on this one out. And on the back there, I didn't have enough room to put my little vacuum cleaner. And I want things to be just right, everything to go in their places. So I'm making the storage units a little bigger. And then while I'm here, I'm actually going to, get a router out and round over the edges. I need to make a hinged cover for that one over there. So just doing a little bit of finish work. Try to get it going. Camper's great though. I took the camper on a trip to Smithfield, Virginia a few weeks ago. Worked out perfectly. Everything was good. Love it. So getting closer. All right, one long cold day later. Got it done. I'm a 1/2 inch too narrow for the standard 24-inch carpet. That's all right. I'm going to be getting some carpet later, but got room for my tools, got room for my vacuum cleaner. Not sure about a jack. Got to think about that, but I can always put the jack in the trunk. So next step is to make the new wider lid for that. All right, got some plywood to make a new lid here and a new lid there. But last night I tried, it was so cold. I was trying to finish up. I was trying to reconnect these wires, which you can see me doing in one of my other videos. And somehow when I did that, I jammed the front door power locks. Okay, the light to the footwell somehow fucked up the power lock up there. And I could see that when I turned this light on, the overhead door light went out. So that was unexpected. All I can think of is I know that the door here has a power lock, or it can. It's been wired so it can't be turned, probably because they had trouble with it, and they disconnected the wire that runs it. So all I can think of, probably the shadow you can't see, disconnected the wire. They disconnected it. So all I can think of is when I was wiring that up originally, I must have tied into that connection to the power locks. So I'm going to pull the top off here, get into the wiring, and I'm just going to wire that light directly to the 12-volt fuse panel and just cut off and use electrical tape on the hanging wires inside, because I don't want to deal with it. Power locks don't work anyways. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to take the door panel off on the inside. Can't even get that door open. I'm afraid I'm going to have to get the door panel off on the inside to disconnect the servo, because I can't even lock it, or if I lock it, I can barely unlock it with the key, and I know that I'm just going to bend and break the key. Yep, that's what you get when you buy a 25-year-old RV. Good times. Yeah, this is fucked up. Like, these wires, which are supposed to be grounded, are hot. And I know originally, I checked them now, in the wiring diagram, these came out of an assembly that came from like all kinds of other stuff. This one shows as grounded, but when you apply power to it, it turns on the front light, which doesn't make any sense. So like, I can do an ohm check on this to the ground and it'll show as being grounded, no voltage. This comes out of a purple. It's supposed to be hot, but it's not. It's also showing partially grounded, like the ohms are down to 1 ohm. So it's going through something and then to a ground. So I know that when I first unlocked that door yesterday, that light came on, which is what it's supposed to do. But I can't figure this out, and I've jacked up my door lock. So I'm just going to cut these wire, tape them, and then I'm just going to direct wire to the to a ground, and then off of that 12-volt battery for that step light. But yeah, I can't figure this out. Okay, I did a power door lock delete. So now I can use the key to unlock the door, but I lost this piece right here, which is the piece that goes to that. But then I found it right by my phone after I put all this shit together, including breaking off a bolt. So this piece is just going to hang out until another day. But it took all day to take the servos out. The servos work. I wired them up. There are the servos. And I just coiled up the electrical back here. So I'm pretty tired. I'm not going to get to building new hatches for the cabinets today. That'll be a next weekend project. But yeah, good times with an old van. All right, how's it going? It's a nice day. It's not raining, it's not dark, it's not cold, it's not snowing. So I am going to finish what I started about 2 weeks ago, where I made this cabinet wider. Originally it was this wide, but I couldn't fit my tools in it properly. I also moved that out because I couldn't fit my vacuum in there. So I'm going to make a new lid for this, and I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to make a plywood lid for that over there as well, so I can open that. So that's the plan. All right, all done. Close the vent. There it is. I've got my tool chest. I'm going to get a small form jack to put in there. My other jack is too big. Got a hatch to get down to the heater when I need to turn the heater on. Got the vacuum in my tool bag. And we'll just go ahead and drop the... One change that I made was when I originally put this in, I noticed that with the blankets and stuff on here, it was interfering, so I made a little bit of a space here so that when I open this, I've got room. So yeah, that's all done. I'm ready for a trip down to Florida to watch the SLS launch in March, hopefully. We'll see if that launches, but I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's February. It's the middle of February, North Carolina. Winter must be over. It's got to be over.